Chapter 22, Cuauhtemoc. Vani Enyekevo cadet for Jom and Obe to come to his tent, discussing the situation thoroughly. What can you guys tell me about our city cadet Cuauhtemoc? Vani Enyekevo asked. Jom, shaking his head, not much otatan I heard of it. Obe agreed by saying, same here, but I heard of a lot of activities down that way as well, but never been there. Vani Enyekevo stood there looking at the city's map, check around the entire camp and see what people know of this place, and get with me in the morning, during combi, with the rest of the warriors. Jom and Obe Said, will Donnerstag. Vani Enyekevo stood there looking at our map, trying to figure out his people were there, of all places. Yearly, during combi, his 9 top consul, Raphael Son, Jamie, and an additional 8 warriors, Maliha, Aba, Avani, Shana, Tiago, Hana, Kenyi, and Nunotat, whom Jom found out that they had been there at least once. They all sat down to see what they could find out about the city of Cuauhtemoc. Shana Said, as a prostitute, Müself, Avani, Aba, and Malia were sent there from time to satisfy the men there. But as far as what goes on in those parts, we do not know. The men never spoke to any of us about their work there. Actually, they never asked us anything, they usually just gave us commands. Nervously and afraid, Avani walked forward and fell to her knees, crying. I have been selling my body since I was 12 years old, and I. So overwhelmed she could not speak. Vani Enyekevo stood up and approached her, hooked her, took her hands, and looked her in the eyes. My dear sweet sister, know this, the bout is not ashamed of what you were, neither should you, for it was not your own free will, but they forced it upon you. He is proud of who you are now. Remember this, the evil one prevents us from moving forward in our lives because of our past. You are the most precious thing in the bout's eyesight, a woman, a deliverer of life. Without women, there cannot be men. Go and live your life without shame and teach others, who have been through the same thing, that they too can live a life with the bout. If you desire to be married, tell that man your past, what the bout rescued you from. If he accepts it, marry that man. If he cannot, dust the dust from your shores and continue for, he too still has problems of his own. He who loves the bout, will forgive you as the bout forgave him. Give that man your all, and you will never be ashamed again. For even the bout says there is no large sin, no small sin. Sin is sin. Vani Enyekevo hooked all the women as they began to cry and walked out of the tent. Returning to his seat, Everione in the tent was crying. Vani Enyekevo, wiping tears from his eyes, okay, stop it you for. Trying to keep his composure, is there anything you can tell us about this city? Tiago, Hana, Kenyi, and Nuno stood there for a moment, and Nuno came forward. All of us except for Kenyi work in the incinerator. He worked in another city, just south of there for 2 years. Von der friend of mine named Celso accidentally got stuck by some kind of needle. When it was told to the supervisor, he was never seen again. He asked about his whereabouts and was sent here the same day. Vani Enyekevo asked, what was it you were putting in the incinerator? Nuno looked back at the man, guessing, cause he never really seen the inside of the bags. Bioazar was the emptied bodies. Vani Enyekevo started thinking for a bit, then told the man, you 3 my go, then he Said, and you, Kenyi. Kenyi approached the council. For years, me and my family worked as slaves. My grandparents, my parents, and even my brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest of them all and I'm the only one leaving today. At 9 years old, when I started. I'm 30 years old, as of yesterday. Everione Said, happy, belated birthday, holding back the tears. Kenyi continued, thank you, as I use, I learned not to ask questions, especially anything about what the Albanians were or was doing. He held his head down and rubbed his fingers across his eyes as he raised his head. Can ye ten Said in anguish, te moderate my entire family right in front of me because my grandfather refused to work anymore. It wasn't until te sent me here 3 years ago, that he started to map out a plan on how he was going to kill BR22, but that you killed him, warte für etwas, Had Said to himself, he would never leave your side. Raphael's son, Jamie, shouted, what? BR22 is dead. He stood there in shock for a moment. BR22 is who we were waiting for. He's the one over the operations in Laguna de Bustilos. A vicious and cold-hearted Albanian, Z.E. Have ever seen, and you mean to tell me, you killed him? Vani and Yekevo pointed at his consul, we killed it. Jamie got on his knees, I am forever in your debt, for I am sure me and my family would have been dead today if you hadn't killed him. Vani and Yekevo Said, Jamie scratched his head, and Vani and Yekevo Said, you will learn what it is, in due time. Vani and Yekevo stood up, approached Kenny and Jamie, and hooked them, saying, and that's exactly what you two shall be, but even more, you shall be a friend and a dear friend etc. For you will be with me without being with me, my BR07, my equalizer, if you will. Vani and Yekevo looked at Kenny and asked, what is your gift with which about has blessed you? Kenny Said, self-healing. Vani and Yekevo turned to Jamie, VLL have to wait for your gift and enlightenment, but according to Teselox and the people, there was supposed to be a shipment of new slaves, a few months ago. No one showed up. No sign of another ship, even coming to this location, which Marcus me felt as if he was doing so meeting behind the rest of their backs. Jamie interrupted, BR22 operation at Laguna de Bustilos is continuous, whether or not he comes. Because of the heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and marijuana merger that he, Alpha Quebec 1, and Oedipus have targeted. Vani and Yekevo Said, tere groß Tose Names again, AQ1 and Oedipus, VHY, am I not surprised. Okay 10, Vani and Yekevo Said. After the surveillance of Cuauhtemoc and until you two get trained. He took a deep breath, as a matter of fact, Obe and myself will train, you two, I need to send you bot to El Paso. I need to know if te were running a renegade outfit, or were te trying to fulfill some kind of mission. Tell no one and report to no one but one of us, here in this room. Vani and Yekevo, ten Said, can ye, please continue? Can ye? Continued, well, as a child, my job was cleaning up, and in my teenage years, I too worked at the incinerator, and by 20, I was withdrawing blood from new slaves as te looked for the oldest DNA mutated string to learn how to eradicate it. Were looking for ways to erase your race by using biological warfare that would only destroy your people's DNA string. But there are at least 3 more levels that go down in that place. I do not know what they are doing on those levels. Jamie interrupted, researching and testing synthetic drugs. Kenny kneels and starts driving on the floor as he continues. It's built much like a box or rectangle about 30 yards by 130 yards. This is inside the lake called Laguna de Bustilos. You have one small 2-story building here, and there is a communication tower and another tower on the east side that controls the large doors that open up when the ship arrives. The ship rotates at 0 to 180 degrees back to 0, 10 IT doors are 360 degree turn, but when IT unloads, it's hovering over the lake, and it does are 260 degree turns, and a light beam empties the bodies. They are alive, you can see them moving, but they are wrapped in some kind of gel. Vani and Yekevo stood there listening, then suddenly started off into space and stood up. Can ye, you, Jamie, and Obe discuss the matter in detail? I have so meeting heavy on my heart. Our training will start first thing in the morning. Vani in Yekevu reached for the intercom, and with great pain, shouted, Imi kumbi. The entire camp came running. He walked outside and stood on top of one of the small buildings, speaking into the microphone, Forgive me. I have forgotten your pain, my fellow warriors, and you are not just warriors, you are my brothers and sisters. If you know that your loved ones are alive or think that they are alive, please go and find them. If you find peace and want to stay, by all means, stay and tell us about goodness, but know this, you are all welcomed back with open arms. But those that return with you must serve as about to stay. Here. Many of the people started talking amongst themselves. Vani in Yekevu continued, How many of you would like to go see, if your family is still living? 47 had raised their hands. Go now, but I'm afraid you must go afoot because we do not have enough resources for each. Man to have a horse. But go, and find out, and if they return with you, so be it. If they do not and you want to stay, you shall stay, but if you return, please return with seeds, livestock, and things that will help us grow. Go in groups and stay in groups until it's time to part ways. Vani in Yekevu jumped off the building and returned to his tent for the rest of the day. Early the following day, after training with Kenny and Jamie, a group of 8 people headed west. Followed by a group of 12 headed north. By noon, a party of 13 headed east before the last group prepared to head south. Vani and Yekevu stopped them. Altip and his wife Joy, along with 7 more, shall accompany you to see about this city of Cuauhtemoc. With strict orders, he told Altip, Joy, and entire crew, stay in the shadows and watch and observe. However, everyone must carry their communication devices, but no communication between you, except in an emergency. Return within a week or 2 with a report. You need at least 1 speedster. Axelle raised her hand, okay, because if one of those spaceships arrives. I want to be there. STL left, Tere stood Vani in Yekevu with Jom and Neriglissar. Neriglissar Said. Okay, everyone. Has at least a week's worth of ration. That leaves us with 45 men and women and about 2 weeks' worth of food for us, but we got the lake filled with fish. Zabaoth is able. Vani in Yekevu smiled, Zabaoth is able. Listening to Neriglissar speak, Vani in Yekevu said, Hold on, don't you have some meeting for me? Neriglissar smiled, as a matter of fast, I Donnerstag. Clearing his throat, Neriglissar smiled. He first came across, in the Song of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5, as he opened the Torah, and it says, I am black but lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Do not stare at me because I am black, for the sun has burnt me. My mother's sons were angry with me, they made me caretaker of the vineyards, but I have not taken care of my own vineyard. So, this is King David and Bathsheba's son. So, when it said my mother's sons were angry with me. He concluded that King David and his ancestors were also black. Smiling, Neriglissar said. You see. He said as he continued, now, turn with me to Jeremiah 8 verse 21. For the hurt of the daughter of my people, me heard, I am black, astonishment had taken hold on me. Neriglissar closed the Torah, was Jeremiah black as well? I remember reading how the Jews of Arabia were the ones that accompanied the Queen of Sheba and her son back from their visit to Israel. And many of the leaders and inhabitants of Ethiopia became Jewish and cited political domination of ancient Ethiopia, which was called Abooksigun back then. Many say that this was the religious center that contained the Ark of the Covenant brought from Jerusalem by the offspring of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, Menelik I. Also, according to Acts of the Apostles chapter 8, verses 26-40, an Ethiopian eunuch, a servant of Queen Candace of Ethiopia, was baptized soon after the resurrection. You see, in early church records history books, Eusebius, a Roman historian, said that this man returned to Ethiopia, where he spread his faith. The king of Aksum soon embraced Christianity and declared it the state religion. So, Ethiopia was the oldest Christian nation in the world. Meaning that Ethiopia was a Christian country long before Ireland and other parts of Europe. Ethiopia was closer to what Christianity was like before it became entangled with notions derived from the imperial ambitions of Rome. And check this out, Nereglisa Said. Vani Enyekevo replied, "Okay, I'm checking." Nereglisa could not stop smiling and laughing as he got excited talking to Vani Enyekevo. Queen's Candace was no joke herself. She was Empress of Ethiopia when King Alexander was on his world conquering rampage. Queen Candace was world famous as a military tactician and field commander. Tesai King Alexander could not entertain even the possibility of having his world fame destroyed by risking defeat, especially by a woman. He stopped his armies right at the borders of Ethiopia and did not invade, because he was met by the waiting black troops with their queen in command. She arranged her armies strategically too. Met him, and was present on our elephant when he approached. Having assessed the strength of her troops, Alexander withdrew from Nubia and headed to Egypt instead. Another story claims that Alexander and Candace had a romantic encounter. The romance met several queens of Meroe, whom te took wäre named Kandake. Te did not realize that Kandake was simply the Meroitic title meaning, queen or mother of the crown prince. The Cushites gave special honor to their queens because te believed that the kings, who were sons of te the women, were also sons of the great god, Ammon. In other words, te imagined that te the ladies were wives of the god and mothers of the living gods or the kings. If a king did, his wife nicht rode alone wieder her son was growing up. The people would worship her like a goddess. When the Romans went to war against Cush, te reported that the Cushite army was led by a Candace who was a massive, powerful woman, covered with jewels and elaborate robes and blind in one eye. Nereglisa was silent for a moment, as his mind raced. Check this out. Did you know that when Jerusalem and Judea were left desolate, most people were either killed, held in captivity, or were refugees fleeing in different groups to remote lands as far as South Africa? All that remained in Israel was the defiant little garrison atop the mount at Masada, a fortress complex south of the Dead Sea built by Herod the Great. In the end, the entire Jewish nation was scattered throughout the earth. Te called this the second exile or Edom exile, even the Jewish leaders. And elite were exiled, killed, or sold into slavery. Te tried to make a comeback in 132 CE, under Bar Kokhba, rebelling against Hadrian. But 2 years later, Hadrian's army defeated the Jewish armies, and Jewish independence was lost. As their punishment, Hadrian changed the name of Jerusalem to Aelia Capitolina, turned it into a pagan city, and banned the Jews from leaving there. Hadrian renamed Judea and Samaria to Syria Palestina. Check this out. Nereglisa Said. Vani Enyekevo reply. I'm still checking. Nereglisa Said, I'm trying to make a connection here. Vani Enyekevo reply, go ahead, I'm listening. Nereglisa Robert his beard, thinking, there were many, and I mean many, great African nations, but there are at least 10 African kingdoms many don't know about. Well, I didst know about. One was the Bornu, pointing to the word, Vani Enyekevo Said, Bornu Empire. Nereglisa Said, okay, the Bornu Empire, grew into the Kanem Empire, in northeastern Nigeria. At its height, it covered not only much of Chad, but also parts of southern Libya and eastern Niger, northeastern Nigeria, and northern Cameroon. By the late 11th century, this same kingdom became known as the Islamic Cipher. Pointing to the word, Vani Enyekevo Said, Saifawa or Saifawa dynasty. Nereglisa Said. Saifawa or Saifawa dynasty, which was founded by Humay or Humay ibn Salamna. The Saifawa dynasty ruled for 771 years, marking it one of the longest-lasting dynasties in human history. 10 tere was se Sao civilization wich. Flores het in Midle Afrika, en se Sao liefet by the Shari River south of Lake Chad in territories that later became part of Cameroon and Chad. Sao wäre Shidet workers in Bronze, Copper, and Iron. 10 tere was the Shilluk Kingdom, the Bagirmi Kingdom, and the Wadai Empire, the Kingdom of Luba or the Luba Empire. In the Kingdom of Lunda and the Ayuran Empire, many of these tribes trukut Afrika climate jewish ancestry. Te observet Semitic traditionssuches koserlijk dietary restrictions and slaukata practices, male circumcision, and strict rules against intermarriage. Many Semitic-sounding clan-names wäre in Ghana, Nigeria, Mali, Uganda, Cameroon, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and even Sao Tome, and other countries, as well. One that kaukt my eye was an Afrikaan tribe Kelletse Lemba, in South Africa. Now P.E. Pesis. Wani en Jekewu, Lauking, ein Pieping. Neriglisa was so engolfet in HIS words, and Wani en Jekewu SAW HIS glow and was excited as Neriglisa continued, wie already spoke about this, I just wanted to confirm what you said. Did you know that the end of the slave trade was not the end of slavery? Before Wani en Jekewu called answer, Neriglisa continued, but Wani en Jekewu was proud of how Neriglisa was reacting and let him continue. Now, Britain has been considered the great liberator of enslaved African people after becoming the first to abolish the slave trade in 1807 and pressuring other countries to follow suit. Truth be told, Britain was the biggest exporter of Afrikaans during the 18th century. For 200 years, Portugal had a monopoly on the export of Afrikaans for enslavement. T estimate that during the 450 years of the Atlantic slave trade, Portugal transported over 4.5 million African captives, about 40% of the total. During the 18th century, however, when the slave trade accounted for transporting 6 million Afrikaans, Britain was the worst transgressor responsible for the enslavement of almost 2.5 million people. Britain would continue the practice of slavery for another 26 years after abolishing the slave trade, which proved too costly thanks to slave rebellions. The United States also abolished the slave trade in 1807, but not slavery. Portugal followed suit in 1869, with its former colony Brazil abolishing it in 1888. The media's slave trade consisted of about 18.5 million des and the total of the Atlantic slave trade at 16 million. That amounts to 34.5 million des of one group of people. That does not include the des from the practice of slavery across the diaspora, which ended in Brazil around 1888, nor does it account for the centuries of colonialism across the continent. Scholar and historian named Dr. John Henry Clark placed the toll of African lives lost during the slave trade or the African Holocaust at about 150 million. Neriglisa repeated himself in anger, 150 million, he said all of that to say this, many slaves that were captured and spread all over the world, were from places that the Jewish community moved to, after bot exodus, and he believe if not all, most of them were the chosen people of Sabaoth. The 12 tribes of Israel. The original Jews. Wani en Jekewu shuk his head, well said. Neriglisa having a funny look on his face, as he flipped through his tablet, he can't find the direct quote and not even sure, if he said it or not, but he found articles and some documentaries that said Adolf Hitler, knie black Americans were truly the Jews of Israel. One article has Hitler saying, because the white Jews, no the Negroes, are the natural children of Israel. And to keep America's secret, the Jews would blackmail America. The Jews would extort America, their world dominant plan wouldn't work if the Negroes knie hute wäre. The white citizens of America will be terrified to know that TV been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel all this time. T feared God will destroy them as he destroyed Egypt for doing the same thing. So, the Illuminatis elite keeps this a secret at all costs, but he found this in the Torah, hold on. Placing his tablet between his legs and flipping through the notice, in the back of his Torah, here it is, the book is, The Nazis, World War II by Robert Edwin Herrstein. Pointing with his finger, St. guided across the tablet, reading, Hitler said, America has stolen the Jews. The Jews of God. His Jevelry. The Negroes. Are the true Hebrews. What a foolish move, and a direct challenge to God. And plan on moving the false white Jews into the state of Israel. America is desperate in its attempt to win this war using atomic bombs on Japan. America will destroy the entire world in its attempt to conquer it now, follow me to the Torah. Turn with me to Revelation 3 verse 9, Behold, I will make Tose of the synagogue of Satan, who says that they are Jews and are not. Nereglisa took a deep breath, I will read about proud moments, sad moments in our history. Reading about people like Dr. Samuel Counts, Grant Wille Taylor Woods, Elizabeth Jennings, Dr. Chancellor Williams, Teresa Barros, Simone Biles. The Zozuit Riots, Central Park 5, Philip Emeagwali, Arkansas, Elaine Massacre and the Clinton 12. Vani in Yekevu smedet et nereglisa, what is our king without his kingdom? Justaman. But know this within your flesh, you are royalty, and because you are the child of Sabaoth, the ultimate and supreme king, you possess royalty in the spirit. You are twisse blessed. Nereglisa smedet es a tear fell from his eyes. Vani in Yekevu said before walking away, you shall be my counselor, to all who have been knocked down, and can't seem to get up. Studial cultures and traditions of men to serve, as a beacon of light to those who seek the light in Sabaoth, but can't see the light within themselves. Just 10, as he was speaking. The people that left to find their families, started returning, Everione returned and spoke to Vani in Yekevu, when we had no hope, you brought it to us, when we took tere was no suchtinges love, you showed it to us. It appears that you nicht need our help. You have been selfless, WHY should we be selfish? We will go and help you as you have helped us, even with the power of Sabaoth, we are great, but as one, we are greater. Also alles well, we will find our loved ones. You have talked us, but sense it markes for a finger, a toe, or even a hand to fight our and the rest of the body behind, we will fight as one body. Who knows, some of our family nicht be where you are going. Vani in Yekevu had tears in his eyes, Sabaoth is. Nereglisa interrupted, saying he was happy, and said, Sabaoth is able, Vani in Yekevu said. Yes, he is, but he was going to say, Sabaoth is avisome.